Emmanuel Macron is in the house. The president of France is here in the country. He's walking on the red carpet at State House. He's even talking about Africa forward. He's making promises. He's promising a nuclear energy plant in Nyanza.
This is for the French side of it. We are talking of about 128 million euro.
But as the brilliant professor that is P.L.O. Lumumba reminds us, there is no one European president that travels 6,000 kilometers to better the lives of the people in this country, that is Kenyans. They all come here to better the lives of their own people, their own citizens.
What is Macron trying to do is trying to raid the former colonies of the United Kingdom and Portugal.
France is actually on its knees financially. That is common knowledge.
French economy is not just bad, it's cooked.
France is drowning in debt, now at a staggering 3.3 trillion euros, with annual interest payments of 60 billion euros.
The west of Africa has chased them away. Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso has finally broken the shackles.
For decades, France built its wealth on the backs of its former colonies. But now, leaders like Ibrahim Traore, Assimi Goïta, and Mamadi Doumbouya are rewriting history.
And now, a frustrated Macron is looking for a new home. He's looking for a new source of stolen wealth.
I feel the French are looking for other countries to come and leech on because the West African countries have come out very strongly to get them out of their system and to liberate themselves from the neo-colonialism that is happening post-independence.
Lucky for him, he found a businessman living in our state house.
Sisi tulifanya makosa na mnisamehe. Tulikuwa natafuta kiongozi tukachagua mfanyabiashara.
One who is always ready to sell the future of his citizens for pennies.
Real quick, what's in it for Kenya?
Well, I think
But this time, Kenyans are alert.
No one can convince me we are going to achieve anything good by hosting the France President Macron into.
They are totally rejecting Macron and whatever he pretends to bring. Let's talk about it. If you love this kind of content, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. Now let's get to the video.
When he won the French presidency in 2017, Macron promised a French renaissance with an economic program based on lowering taxes, cutting unemployment, and reducing public spending.
So let us talk about France. You see, their wealth was not built on hard work. It was built on theft. For decades, they stole resources from West Africa and actually Africa in general. They controlled money. They stored gold in Paris, and back in their country, most people lived so comfortably while Africa suffered.
Most people have no idea just how much France relies on its former colonies. But let's put it in perspective. 14 African nations still use the CFA franc, a currency controlled by France. These countries have been forced to keep 50% of their reserves in France's central bank. France gets first access to their resources, their trade, their wealth, all while African nations struggle.
But the game has changed. In countries like Côte d'Ivoire and Burkina Faso, the youth have said enough. France has been kicked out.
A new wave of African leaders is saying enough is enough. Ibrahim Traore in Burkina Faso, cutting ties with France, taking back control of resources. Assimi Goïta in Mali, ditching French military presence, reclaiming sovereignty. Mamadi Doumbouya in Guinea, nationalizing industries, ending dependency.
Their colonial DNA is now starving. So, what do the President Macron do? He comes to Kenya, a country that he has ignored for decades. He comes to a leader who, unfortunately, prioritizes business over the interest of his people.
But for William Ruto ikifika biashara hana mtu yao.
The unfortunate truth is, he's looking for a new colonial playground, and Ruto is laying out the welcome mat. The desperation in State House is actually embarrassing. Yesterday, William Ruto stood next to Macron and told the biggest lie of 2026.
If the president of this country can lie this much, and he can also lie to another president.
He actually told the world without blinking that now Kenya is manufacturing computers. He said that we're also manufacturing phones.
We are manufacturing now here in Kenya a lot of digital assets, whether it is phones, whether it is computers.
I mean, the whole country was shocked because we live here and we buy phones. We have never bought an iPhone that has been written made in Kenya.
We are laying fiber optic to 30,000 kilometers already in Kenya.
Knowing Ruto, he'll say anything to gain favor with the European power. He wants to finesse Macron. But in reality, he's the one who is being finessed. He's selling our land, our energy, our future, just to look innovative on global stage. And as the UK rapper said, that is Dave, we need a voice that is loud enough to call out leaders who sell their countries and their people for pennies.
Critiquing African leaders for selling our country's natural resources to the West for peanuts.
For those who feel like we're being unfair to the president, I want you to look at the patterns. Look at what is happening in Northeastern.
Now, recent reports have shocked the national headlines that it has been uncovered that this flooded land and the area surrounding it, measuring 530 hectares, has been bought by the Israel community. 530 yote, kwani plan yao ni wicha?
Huge portions of land are being handed over to the Israeli developers. They call it vacation homes. PLO Lumumba calls it injustice.
The battle is intergenerational. It will be fought from generation to generation.
Kenyans are being pushed off their own soil to make room for foreigners. Why? Because the man in State House doesn't see a country. He sees a commodity. He makes shitty deals with even shittier people, and we're the ones who are supposed to pay the price.
President Ruto has a problem. He has said that he is the best in everything. The best among all the presidents that Kenya has ever had. So he's number one in everything. And I don't know who advises him, but he's made a lot of blunders.
The truth is, we don't need the West to fix our country. We have resources, we have hard-working people. The only thing we don't have is actually a good leader. A leader who cares about the people.
Excuse me, everybody. Hey. I'm sorry, guys. But it's impossible to speak about culture, to have people like that super inspired coming here, making a speech with such a noise.
Mr. Macron, if Kenyans meet you elsewhere, they will make more noise. Because Mr. William Ruto wants an upfront bribe of 17 billion Kenya shillings delivered to him in cash by CRBC. But the CRBC are demanding the contract first before they give the money, and William Ruto is demanding the money before he gives the contract.
Ibrahim Traore proved that it can be done, and since then, he has survived so many assassination attempts.
It took Ibrahim Traore escaping assassination attempts by the French government for him to get the France out of his country.
He realized that African development doesn't have to come from Paris. It comes from within. But Ruto is actually doing the opposite. He's inviting colonialists back to the table. He's shaking hands with the very people that PLO Lumumba continues warning about.
In their minds, African countries are still fit for colonization. Remember that the DNA of the colonizer does not change.
He thinks he's finessing the system, but in reality, he's just becoming a puppet of a dying European superpower.
France's grip on Africa is slipping, and without Africa's wealth, France's economy is heading for disaster.
So, Macron's visit isn't a sign of progress. It's a sign of a president who has lost his way.
Emmanuel Macron has come to Kenya and made it his home. But what is one of the most unpopular leaders in the world doing in Kenya?
Kenyans have rejected the visit. Scholars have rejected the visit. The youth have rejected the visit.
The African countries in the Sahel region are complaining of neo-colonialism from France. That wamekuwa wakijifanya kuwa ni marafiki wao, but in the end wanaendelea kuchukua resources na kuzipeleka France. And more countries are joining the bandwagon in rejecting advances of France as a country, as a modern-day colonialist. But our President William Ruto saw an opportunity.
And let us be honest, if you can lie about Kenyan-made computers to a foreign president, what else are you lying about?
The same unpopularity that is haunting William Ruto here at home is the same unpopularity that is haunting Emmanuel Macron back in France.
This is just one more reason why Ruto must be a one-term president.
This is an attempt by the Paris government to come back so that they can install an administration that will do their bidding. And I am of the view that that involvement or those accusations will become the subject of debate for the foreseeable future.
We're tired of being colonized by outsiders, and we're tired of being sold out by our own. Subscribe.